Hey everybody, we're back on these E7s, and yeah, we're still on the exhaust, guys. I know it's a little bit boring, probably for some, but I got to point a couple things out. Now, last time on the last segment, I made a mark here, and we raised the port. Remember, it's upside down, and now we're taking this wall a little bit. But what we don't want to do is make the wall crooked and go too far over this way. So just line it up with your mark, and that's all you want to do is level that wall to this mark, because I'm more concerned once it gets past this high peak right here, it coming out straight. So all we're really doing is straightening the port. It's not about making it bigger, it's just about making it flat and straight. So as you guys know, anybody familiar with any Ford head, they usually dip around pretty hard back here. So we also grind this back and level it in as best we can to meet the wall straight as much as we can. You're going to taper it where, just think about the air coming out. It's not going to hit this wall and just have a real fast ramp to move over this way. We're trying to get it out straight. That's all we're doing. We're not trying to make it big. So even though it will come out bigger. And of course, the same for the other side. And one of the things you can go by, fellas, is your casting marks. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's a good sign. Once you get them, I don't know if you can tell, guys, back here. You see, right in there. Your casting marks will come all the way out. Right there. That's where I didn't grind yet. And if you smooth them in, well, that's a good sign that you're not going too far. You're not going to hurt anything. Now, do you have to get them completely smooth? No. If you try to make it look pretty, you're going to wind up in trouble. That's the last thing you want to do, is try to make this look pretty. So, one of the things I want to show you is this. When you have... Now, I don't know if I can get over top of this phone to do this, but I want you guys to watch. This is a sign of a good... The port's coming around and starting to move pretty good. Now, I don't know if you can see, I had a lot of metal laying in that port, and it just blew completely out. So I hope that showed up. That's one thing I go by. Some guys might say, well, of course it's going to go out. Well, we kind of doubt that method right there and don't think that that works and doesn't show you anything. Right here, where this casting's flawed, I just had to round that in even more. And I'm not going to go any further because it's fine. But that was hanging up, and the metal was staying right here until I leveled this out and got up into the bowl more. The metal was staying there, and the rest of it was going out over here. So that definitely does show you something, guys, regardless of what somebody high-tech might think. I'm not high-tech. You guys know that. But one thing I do have to do, fellas, is I have to reevaluate how I'm doing these segments, because we're never going to get to the end of this. They are just freezing my phone up. They shut me right out of making phone calls today. I had no service, so I'm really putting myself through the mill, guys, to try to do these segments. But I don't care. I told you guys I was going to do them, and we're doing it, and I'll have to pay the consequences here. But I'm just explaining why I'm trying to rush this, and there's not a whole lot of joking around, or a little bit more serious than I want it to be, guys, and that's the only reason. But we're going to look at that port, and then we're going to look at this port, and you'll see that the wall... Well, let me get straight here, guys. Try to give you a fair evaluation, equal it up. It's not drastic, a whole drastic difference, but it is a difference. The air is straighter. And I'm not finished. Now, don't forget, guys, we're going to be tapering this back in with sanding rolls. So don't try to do a finished tux with a grinding stone or a carbide bit. And guys, you see me using a stone now. If you only have a bit or whatever you want to use is fine. If you have a sanding roll and you want to do this with a sanding roll, but all I'm really doing is trying to round the things in, the corners, round the corners in, and the same way with the floor, in case I forgot to address that, we're going to do the same thing, but not touch the floor, just on the wall side, and give the floor a little bit wider stance. And I did mention before, I still like the roof a little bit wider than the floor. That's just something I do. I've never proven if that's any better, except for the fact when I blow air through and see the metal come out, it always has tendency to go out at the top more so when I do that port on the bigger side on the roof. Well, guys, bear with me here because we're going to try this. I'm going to try flip the head up and over, and we're going to get into the bowl and work our way out. But one thing I forgot to mention, guys, doing this wall right here, it'd be better if you just flip the head up this way. I had it like this here for purposes of showing people on YouTube here. And but if you had it like this here, it'd be a lot easier to just level that out. You can see back in there better. You're getting a lot of feedback with the light the way I have it, but you'd be able to see a lot better. And then, of course, just the other side isn't that bad. You're just straightening that out. Just straight it. Sorry, guys, I'm choking here. You're just going to straighten and level the wall on this side, and it's not that bad. You could even get away with leaving this one stuck. I'm just going through the extreme again, guys. My own thing. Somebody doing a cleanup, you wouldn't have to worry about this wall right here. You really wouldn't have to worry about this wall if you're just doing a little cleanup for the street. But I'm just explaining what I'm doing for people that's you're always going to have a guy that's going to say, no, I'm going to do it the way that guy's doing it. And I'm just explaining why and how much it helps and how much it might not help. And it might not be worth you taking the time to do it for what you're doing with your car. Guys, I'm trying to get in this port and show you the difference. But that's how much of the angle you have without removing this wall. Even though I have cut this back now, guys. Remember, this has been tapered a little bit already. So that shows you the ramp that you would have on that wall right there compared to that. So, and if you notice, remember I put a groove in here and I tapered back into it. Now this isn't leveled out yet, guys. I really didn't do much here because I had the head, like I said, facing the other way. When I get ready to taper this all in, the head will be facing this way when I get ready to level this out, which I'm not doing right now because I got to address what I wanted to show you guys, and we got to move on. So hold on, fellas. Oh, how pretty this is going to be trying to do this on the live side here. But here's what we got. Hang on, fellas, I'm a-coming. I got bits stuck to my magnet on the light now, guys. I can hear you guys laughing at me. Oh, it's not funny. Okay, guys, hang on 1 second. 1 second, guys. I bet you're still waiting for me to be professional, right, fellas? That ain't never going to happen. You're going to have to take me as I am. That's just how that goes. Yeah, you always have. All right, guys. Let me get this light out where it's not blinding anybody. So, this is how the port looks with the rust laying in it. That's good, really good for performance. So if your ports are rusty like that, you can just leave that, because what that would do is just fill this in a little bit. All right, enough nonsense, guys. All right, we're gonna knock this back. This is very, very sharp right here off the port, off the seat rather, going into the port. And then back in here, we're gonna round this end. And it's best to lay the head down the other way when we get ready to do from the back of the bowl into the port. So right now we're just going to worry about this, and you guys are I'm going to give you a little heads up. When we get ready to do this, I'm going to be cutting this back, and it's going to be using a stone. This is going to have a very nice bowl when I'm finished with it. As far as very nice, I mean it's going to be, it will not be this. It'll be more on a oval basis, except for you can't do the miracles. You'll still have the stock casting how it is, but it will all be blended in and rounded in. But enough with that. We're just going to knock this out real quick. And if I don't get going here, we won't have no segment. So here we go, guys. Back to the stone. And you could use a carbide bit if you want to. I'm just using a stone because it's faster and it doesn't grab and bite in like the bit would be jumping around more. I do want to show you that. This might give you a better idea, a better visual of how deep this really is coming off the seat there. Anybody has a pair of heads already there and is trying to do this, they're going to see what I'm talking about. But I try to explain things to people that don't have these heads and are just watching a video. And the most important thing I forgot to say, guys, anybody that's never done any porting, your seats, I really should have took Dykem and put it on a valve and marked this. I meant to do that for you fellas. So I'll do it this way. This would be your seat. So I don't know if that shows up or not. All I have here is a green marker. But right here would be your seat. And you never want to go more than halfway or do anything where you can't see, because you will hit the seat and you'll have a flat spot in it. I'm not kidding, guys. You got to take me serious on that. Thinking, well, no, I take my thing, I go around. I do too, but I don't want to tell anybody to do that. So I'm telling you not to do that, because it will be a problem. If you have a grinding stone, you get a little bit off and get off your mark, you will have a bad seat. No, I'll promise you that. If you've never done this before. And also, if you're using a drill like this, you have to remember not to go and let the drill itself hit your seat either. You know how I know that, guys? Take a guess how I know that. Because I've done it. That's how. I still make the mistake, fellas, being tired and doing things when I shouldn't be doing them. Yeah, don't think because you do this for a long time, have years experience, you don't make mistakes, because you still do. I might make a mistake more than a guy starting out. Sorry, guys, I'm getting little bit of dust here. And another thing, this is actually where I start most of the time, fellas. I usually start on the combustion chamber stuff first. I did turn things around for this segment, and because some of the areas are more important than what I'm going to be doing in the combustion chamber. So I wanted to give you guys what would help you first and be the most crucial. And that was the bump in the port. And actually, the bump in the port that I showed you guys and what we're doing right now is two of the most crucial things on the E7 head. Another reason I like to grind in stone, guys, is for this reason. When I taper back, I'm actually going to have this close to how I want it. But if you do use a stone, remember, you're going to be taking more metal with a stone, most likely. And you also get the dust with a stone where you might not see that you've been grinding too hard. So anybody starting out, just use your head, take your time, and use common sense. I can't hold anybody's hand. I'm always afraid of telling somebody something a little bit wrong. And I hope this camera's been picking up this whole time. I didn't realize it was so far off. Okay, here we go, guys. I hope I don't have to redo this because it won't be any better the second time around. I promise you that. All we're doing is tapering this in, guys. I'm not grinding to top. I'm just getting ready this ridge. We're going to try to blend it in. And it's a big improvement already. The lip is almost gone off of there. It's not a big jagged edge now. So even if somebody was just to smooth this out like that, well, if you're not looking to get 100% out of the head, it would still be a big improvement. So it's not a mistake to do anything at all to these heads that when you take care of a problem like that. My tripod keeps moving, guys. Sorry. Hang on. Be patient with me, fellas. I'm using black tape and everything else here, guys. Real professional, like I tell you. So you can see it's starting to get to be a nicer shaped port already. All right, a little bit more, guys. Now you do have to be careful here, because if you got carried away and try to level this in instead of concentrating on this high peak, you will start going too thin and you'll go through. So I want to stress that I'm here to help you, not to hurt you. Don't be copying me thinking, now that guy looks like he's really grinding that a lot, because you can't never tell how much somebody's doing on these videos, unfortunately. That's why I'm trying to explain things a little bit as I go. I know I get lost watching stuff, but you guys are brighter than me, so you have an advantage there. And it's going to feel like you're fighting with it a little bit, guys. When you're trying to take metal that's real thick in one spot, it's always going to feel like it's fighting you like this here. Don't let that scare you. Just manhandle it a little bit. Don't go crazy where you're forcing the bit or the stone, but just go over it and level it, and don't be afraid. If you still see a high spot, then you're fine. If you have it flattened out and it starts doing that, and you start feeling the metal change on you, then you're in trouble. I hear you, Beans. Oh boy, he's getting close to that seat. I am, I know it. So unfortunately, I'm going to do this video like this. So on and so on. You just level it out, guys. So next segment, I'm going to be coming in here. We're going to be flipping the head the other way, and we're going to level this out and into the roof. So I'll let you guys know what's up. Next segment. I'm sorry, fellas, I can't do this a little bit more professional, a little bit better. I get the camera going one of these days. If somebody could understand that that's what I've been waiting for, and I promised a while back I'd have that happening by now, and it hasn't happened, but that's what I need, guys. I need a regular camera to be able to do this the way it would be good for everybody, as far as doing it in segments where you could watch it all the way through. So I'm going to end it here, guys. I want to thank you, fellas, for being interested in what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. I got stone stuff in my mouth here. Being interesting in these heads and what I'm up to. I appreciate it. And for taking this as it is, guys. I can't thank you, fellas, enough. So till next time, guys. God bless. Have a good night. And be good to one another, fellas. Take care.